Welcome back, everybody, to Conan Exiles. I am the Bearded OG, and in this episode, we are going to start the Freya storyline. That's, I think, what we'll do next. But I do have some things, of course, to get you guys updated on. I just got back from my business trip to Orlando yesterday, and so today's Monday, May 5th. And so this is my first time recording since I got back. I did play a little bit yesterday, but I was really exhausted. So, and I had some other, family things going on, so I didn't really have time to record an episode. Anyway, I did play a little bit, though, off camera, and I played just a little bit off camera before I left for the trip, too. And so, got a few things to update you on. So, first of all, I have found the Predatory Blade 2 different times, attacking the brute, or farming the brute in the unnamed city. And if you don't already know, the thing that's cool about the Predatory Blade is it is the highest damage one-handed sword in the game. So yeah, this blade here does 108 health damage, which is incredibly high for a one-handed sword, and 9% armor pin and crippling. But predatory means, what that means is that you can only use light attacks. You can't, I think it doesn't do any damage at all with a heavy attack, or not very much. So yeah, that's the thing, and we have 2 of them, and I have one of them. There we go. Yeah, so what I did, and this is going to be the blade that I'm going to use when I need to also use a shield, and we'll also talk about Mistborn. But with the master fitting on it that increases damage and armor pin, the sword is now up to 113 damage and 21% armor penetration. And it's just, I know that, my guy's an agility build and this is a strength weapon, but the damage is so incredibly high on that I still think it's going to be, effective, essentially. Okay, so we got that. Let's see. The Grim Daggers. Yes, so we found those as well. And the thing that's interesting about the Grim Daggers are that they have escalating. So they do 36 health damage, and that again is with the fitting on it, the master fitting, and 30% armor penetration, but they have escalating. What escalating means is that each time you hit the enemy, the damage increases up to 2 times the base damage. But I believe you have to, I believe you have to do that in kind of in succession. There's probably like a period of time where if you don't continue hitting it, it resets, I think. Something like that. So yeah, those are interesting daggers. Now we're still currently using Dagger of Nameless Days, which has 52 health damage and 18 armor pin versus only 36. So, the base damage is lower on these, but potentially, with escalating, you could get it all the way up to, 72 damage, at the top. I just don't know how easy that is to do or how practical it is to do, and how long it takes either. So that's why I'm not using those myself. Okay, so next thing is we found Szeth's Truncheon. And so yeah, that dropped for us, and I put an advanced blunt fitting on it, though that doesn't give us what the actual values are. It just has the advanced blunt fitting on it. So Szeth's Truncheon is one of the, if not the best weapon for blunt damage in the game, at least for a handheld club type weapon. There's other ways to do it, like with the violet bombs, which I've also used. Purple Lotus bombs and all those. Okay, so yeah, we have that, and let's see. Next thing is we found ourselves a named Tanner Oscar Thunderhead. So Oscar's hard at work here in the tanning bin. I went out and got a whole mess of hide, not so much because I need hide, but because I needed tar. So yeah, we went and farmed a bunch of that. Okay, next we have the Red Mother God Eye Patch, which I'm wearing because I think it looks badass. Now, I'm not actually wearing it. I'm still wearing the Skullus Cultus Master's hood, you know, with the maximum upgrades. But we're using Fashionist to make it look like we're wearing the eye patch. So, there you go. I found the Mistborn Shield. I've actually found this twice. Once during one of our multiplayer sessions. But then I found it again. And this shield basically protects you from heat. So, next time we go into the volcano, we can equip this and we'll pretty much don't have to worry about the temperature. In addition, we also have the Dragon Scale Helm, which I think I may have found with you guys on camera in 1 or 2 episodes back. I don't remember for sure. But this gives maximum heat and cold protection. So a really, really good helm for that purpose. So these two together, we should have no trouble at all with temperature. Okay. Let's see. Then I found Blade of the Seven Winds. So I have been farming all kinds of chests, both, you know, making runs through the Midnight Grove, making runs through the dregs, going into the 2 or 3 world locations with the spider bosses, and I still have not been able to find another Musashi's Black Blade or the daggers that I'm looking for. What the hell are they called? Heart's blood. Yeah, heart's blood. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it. So I'll have to get back into my head back into the games. Anyway, but we did find this. I don't know about this, because here's the thing. It has armor negation and it has 100% armor penetration. I don't know what the difference between those two are. I tried to look it up and seems to me like that's exactly the same thing, right? If you have 100% armor penetration, then you are negating 100% of the armor. So I don't know if this means something different. That's fine and good, except for that this has a really low base damage. It only does 33 health damage. Compared to, like, my Graceful Knight here, which does 69 base damage. But, you know, of course, only 26% health damage. And then Musashi's Black Blade, I don't remember what the damage values were on that, but it was in the 70s, I think. You know, so it's even higher. So I don't know, you know, I don't know how ultimately effective this is. Yeah, sure, it's, you know, ignoring all of the armor, but it's only doing 33 base damage. So, you know, is that ultimately better or not? I don't know. So currently I'm just sitting on it. I'm not, you know, I haven't done anything with it. It's at full durability in case I do want to throw a fitting on it and try it out, but anyways, it's a pretty interesting weapon from the standpoint that it basically ignores armor. Okay, next I found the Hunger Blades. Now, these drop off of the Black Panther and Midnight Grove. And the thing that's cool about Hunger Blades is that they're dual wield. And they have diseased, and they have armor penetration of 90% and health damage of 44, and that's just base without any upgrades. So, these are pretty cool, man. They're you know, dual wield weapons. They're axes, but you know, I think these might be more PvP though because of the disease, which is some kind of a debuff. I don't know if that matters for PvE. But they also do bleed though too, so that's kind of cool. And you know, a decent amount of health damage, which of course you could beef up a little bit with some fittings. So we found those. Whether or not we actually do anything with them remains to be seen. By the way, these are also strength weapons. They're not agility weapons. So that's another reason why they really wouldn't make a lot of sense for us to use with our current build anyway. And then finally, I found Cat of the 1,000 Lashes. So Cat is a named overseer. So she's a tier 4 overseer. And what that means is, at least for crafting, is if we make, crafting speed is 2.5. She adds an additional a little over 11% more concussive damage, both heavy and light. 44% more durability, which is really good, and then a little bit less weight. So very, very nice, crafting bonuses from a tier 4 thrall here, Taskmaster thrall. And of course, she also will speed up the... Well, I'm pretty sure she'll speed up the... yeah, I think the crafting speed probably also counts for thralls, raising the thralls or converting them. I'm assuming that's what that means. So 2.5 speed is really nice. Yeah, so we found her too. All right, so that is pretty much it for the updates. I did spend some time, I spent quite a bit of time actually just farming chests, trying to find, the Black Blade. I've farmed the Red Mother several times with my thralls, but we still haven't found, the Reach of the Red Mother, which is the, the bow that we're going after. So I will continue to farm her, and yeah, so that's pretty much where we are. As far as building goes, the next building project will be the tavern. We're not going to do that in this episode, but possibly into the next episode. We'll see how that goes. And then we have, more things to do in this playthrough. One thing I will tell you guys that's kind of been in my mind, and we've had a little bit of conversation about this on the Discord, is possibly in the near future, doing a new Conan series on one of the modded maps. And the one that I'm thinking of is, gosh, I can't remember what the hell it's called. If I remember, I'll put a link in the video when I edit it, but it's basically the one that takes, the normal map, the one we're playing on now, and just extends it. So you still have pretty much everything, that the base map has, but then it extends way up into the northeast here. It makes like the snow biome larger, and it's really, really cool. So it might be fun to do a Conan playthrough on that map. I've also played SIPTA a few times. I haven't done a single player series on SIPTA. I've done a couple multiplayer videos, and series on it in the past, but I haven't done a single player on SIPTA. So that's another possibility too. But because I've already done SIPTA a few times, and I do like it, by the way, I think it might be fun to try some of those new maps. Now, Savage Wilds would also be another potential option, which is a completely different map. It doesn't even use the the normal map, so that's another option too. So anyway, just letting you know kind of what I'm thinking in terms of future Conan content. All right, so enough blabbing. Let's go ahead and go introduce ourselves to Freya and get started with her quest line. So I don't have anybody currently that I'm leveling. I did find Conchaka of Hyrcania. She is an archer. She is finished leveling, and she didn't get really anything to help with her agility, but even with that, she still has 81% agility bonus damage. So she's a pretty decent archer. Her health is at 3560. It is my intent to go get more Black Corsair Elites, which is what Panzer is, just because of their massively, massively high health pool. So, he came in at 15,000 health. It's just crazy. So we'll probably grab some more of those. At some point, I need to get going again on sorcery so I can get the Elixirs of Rebirth, because I'd like to re-roll, definitely the 2 Delencias, because they just got bad rolls, and possibly re-roll Leon too. Now I know I can just go get new ones and try it again that way too, but I don't know. We'll just kind of see how that goes. All right, so to take with us, let's take Panzer with us. Let's take our Battle Dancer with us. I'm still looking for a tier 4 dancer, just in case we get into a situation where we have to, remove corruption. And let's go ahead and take Cathibria with us too, so we have more storage capacity. And then, of course, we'll take Camelot. Now, I don't know what to expect with with the Freya questline. I haven't talked to her myself, never done it, never watched anybody else do it. So the only thing I know about it is that we start doing quests for her, and eventually she becomes a follower of us. But what those quests are, how interesting they are, how long it takes, whether or not it's actually even worth it, from a practical standpoint, it's probably worth it to do it from a storyline, fun aspect. But I mean, is Freya better than, Dalencia Snowhunter, for example, as a follower? I don't know. Maybe she is. So we'll find out as we do this. But we're also, of course, doing it just for the fun of it and to experience the heroes aspect of Age of Heroes, which is, of course, what we're doing now. So she is going to be up on a cliffside over this direction, kind of up that way, I think. And like I said, I was just coming back from the mountains one time, doing some off-camera stuff, and I just stumbled across her. But I didn't talk to her. I just, waved at her and then kept going. So, let's go this way. I don't remember her exact spot, but I will find it. I know it's just over in this general area. I want to say she might be up on this cliff here. So why don't we climb up there? I'm gonna actually move over more towards this ridge. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do what I often forget to do. Get some food before we left. Damn it, Jim. Okay, well, let's just head up this direction and then we'll Scartalon Ridge. And if we have to, we'll go back home and grab some food, or we can just, kill and cook something in the wild if nothing else. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this, what's going to happen with all of this. I don't know what to expect, but hopefully it'll be fun. Then, of course, we also have the Asian Sorcerer Hero Guy 2 that I am planning on also doing his quest line. Alright, I may not be in the right place. Let's just go up here and take a look-see. Oh, there's her place down there. Okay, so I'm off by a ridge. Oh, what is my build? Oh, I'm in gather mode build. Okay, that's another reason why we should go home and respec. I wonder if I should do that before I talk to her, because I don't know what's going to happen, Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut the camera here. I'll meet you guys back here after I go respec for combat and get some food. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. It's a dead guy there. Freya, fighter, returning home. Talk to Freya.
The dreamer dreamed on the cold grey hills. The seeker rode in the sun. They are parted by fire and death and time. But their lives cling and their souls twine. Till the last of the day is done.
What?
Ymir's beard. Interrupting the dirge of an Aesir warrior is a death wish. If I wasn't weak from struggle, I'd have my blade at your throat.
Wish you would turn towards me. You weren't carrying the blade, warrior. I want to know what happened here.
Then use your eyes. The jackals came. They set fire to the hut and took my man, Angvar.
They didn't attack you?
No. Angvar could see the shape of it right away. He surrendered to protect me. That man. Always my shield when I need him.
Surrendering to protect you sounds like cowardice. Well, not necessarily. If he was sacrificing himself for her. Where did they take him?
I don't know.
So that's it. You're just going to sit around singing sad songs.
I just need a moment. Why do you care?
I roam around the exiled lands looking for people to help and you need help. I'm bored. I need something to do. I assume that if I get your man back, I'll get some kind of reward. I'll help people in need, sure.
And start by searching the bodies. If we're going to find my husband, we need to know where these fools came from.
Okay. Alright. Press E to interact. This warrior was brutally slain. Okay. There's nothing here but the stench of death. Yucky. This house doesn't look very burnt down to me. Just saying. You found a note. A slaver's note. Okay. I guess we need to read that then, eh? Slaver's note. We've got ourselves a job and it demands discretion. We're supposed to haul the blacksmith from his perch on the hill all the way to Stormwatch. If he's not delivered in one piece, we get no take, and there's enough gold in the pot for each of us to buy a seat on the High Council. There's always a twist in jobs like these. The smith must be more than meets the eye for this great sum. Bring him in one piece, cousin. Take no risk. Avoid any suspicion that could tie this back to the clan. All right, so we're dealing with some kind of a clan here. And I guess her husband was a blacksmith. There's stuff in there, but we're not going to loot it. That'd be rude. Okay, let's talk to her.
Did you find anything out?
One carried a note. They were hired to capture your husband and bring him to Stormwatch.
Stormwatch? That's a Vanir place. You'll find it west of here.
You're not coming with me?
I am not ready. You'll need to give me some time.
So much for the great Aesir warrior. I'll head west alone then. I mean, shh. That's kind of a dick thing to say. Okay, we'll help her out. Goodbye. Alright, so we need to go find Stormwatch that's to the west of here. Do we get any kind of indication on here where it might be? Desert Watch, Stormwatch. Okay, we've actually been there before. Alright, well, let's head on over to Stormwatch and see what happens. Can I get down over here? And let's go this way. Alright, here we are at Stormwatch.
Have nothing better, pup?
See what's going on over here. It would kind of suck if we found a named craftsman. But if we do, we do.
Your weapons away in time.
Let's grab the bear. And oh, the other one disappeared. It's a bug. That's a bug. If that happens to you, by the way, if you leave render and then come back, you can usually find the body back on the ground. Okay, so let's take that stuff. Is that layered fur? Yeah, we'll take that too. What's this? You have found a note. You have found another note. You have found gold. Alright. Does this guy have anything to say to us? Nope, guess not. Let's take a look at these notes. Seeker of Fortune. I have a task that requires discretion. I would pay the sum of 300 gold pieces for the capture and safe delivery of the blacksmith Angvar. He can be found at his hovel in the hills east of New Asgarth. Bring him to me with no harm done, and you will be rewarded handsomely. Should you maim or kill him, I'll ensure that molten gold lines your innards before you rot in a shallow grave. The note is sealed in wax, stamped with a raven's foot. Alright. What does this note say? Fret not, cousin. I'll pick up some exile brutes to do the job with me. If there's anything they're good at, it's swinging a club. Once we return to Stormwatch, I'll gut the dogs. No one will miss them, and no one will know we were involved. Okay. Alright, so. Is there any kind of, like, guide for this, or... Ooh, Valeria's sword. Is that a katana? I've completely, like, haven't been paying any attention to these journeys lately. I do want to do some of these other journey steps, though, too. So it's on the to-do list. Alright, well, I guess, unless I didn't find everything I was supposed to find here, I guess we go back and talk to her again and see what she has to say about this situation.
Did you find anything out? Stormwatch. That's a Vanir place. You'll find it west of here. I am not ready. You'll need to give me some time. Yes, take your barbed tongue and go. Did you find anything out? Stormwatch. That's a Vanir place. Well, go, and quickly. A man's life is at risk.
Alright guys, so I could not figure this out. I looked it up, and as far as I can tell, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to come here, kill these guys, pick up these notes, and then when I go back to her, she gives me the option of, or there's a new option saying I found these notes, but she doesn't seem, it's not registering on her end that I've already come here. So what I did is I tossed the 2 notes out of my inventory. I'm going to pick them up again. So, okay, that gives us that note, which is the one that says, Seeker of Fortune, have a task, bring him to me. It mentions his name. Note sealed in a wax stamp with a raven's foot. Okay, so we got that one. And then we also have this one. And this is the one that says, Fret not, cousin, I'll pick up some exile brutes to do the job. If there's anything they're good at, it's swinging a club. Once we get to Stormwatch, I'll gut the dogs. No one will miss them. Okay. And then, of course, there's just this bag of gold, which gives us gold. Now, what I looked up, though, they said that we'd get rushed by another group of bad-bats, and that never happened. So, yeah, I don't know. What I'm going to do is... Are all y'all coming? Doesn't look like she got the message. I'm going to go back to Freya one more time and see if it... Now it's updated? Oh yeah, she's following me. I don't know why she's just standing there. If it isn't, then I might have to see if there's a command or something I can do to manually advance the, to the next stage, because this is obviously not working otherwise. The other thing I could try and do, I suppose, is restart the server. Let's go here. Yeah, I'd have to get a hold of Bull and just ask him to hop off for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to go back to Freya and just see if you know, because I threw those old notes out and picked the new ones up, if that updates anything. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Alright, let's see if she says anything different.
I wasn't sure you'd be back.
Oh,
Any
okay.
tidings of Angvar?
It did update. Alright. So I guess I had to remove the old notes and do the new ones. Okay, I followed the path all the way west to Stormwatch. I found these notes.
I don't recognize the seal of the Raven's Foot, but someone is working behind the scenes. They mentioned the clan. I wonder...
Do you know something?
No, I just suspect something. I must travel to New Azagarth and speak with the tribal elders.
Do you want me to go with you?
No, the villagers abhor outsiders. I must go alone. And listen, I have been lying to you. I'm no warrior. Not anymore.
Plus, New Asgarth, they're not really fond of me because I go in there occasionally and knock them all out and steal their good people, so yeah. Anyway, alright, what happened?
Before we were brought to the exiled lands, I fought and killed as well as any in my tribe. More so, some called me Valkyrie, after the warrior women of our myths.
By the way, most of you probably know this, but in case you don't, Freya is the Norse god of love and reproduction and war, and she's also supposed to be the captain or the leader of the Valkyrie, which are the female Viking angel creatures that carry dead Vikings off to Valhalla. So there you go. All right, continue.
When we were captured, I took a wound to the arm. It festered, and I took a long time to recover. When I did, I had lost my prowess in battle.
Okay. So apparently she's not a god in this iteration. Because, you know, gods would not have wounds that would fester, and nor would they lose their battle prowess.
My wound has never truly healed, and my ability to fight is all but gone. Angvar was taken, not because he was weak, but because I can't fight.
So I saddle myself with a useless weak. Some of these responses are not very nice. There's nothing that can be done about the wound?
Perhaps. There is a witch named Hulda. She laid an enchantment on my blade when Angvar forged it for me. She might be able to help.
Okay. What can I do in the meantime?
Once I have spoken with the elders and hopefully found Hulda, I should know more about where they have taken Angvar. I will seek you out. You have an encampment in the exiled lands, I assume?
I do. Show her on your map. Okay.
Then look for me there in a few days. And thank you for your help.
Okay, so I guess she shows up at our base in a few days, like a few in-game days, maybe, I guess. All right. Well, that was interesting. So, is that literal? I mean, are we literally not going to see her for a few in-game days? Or do we just head home and then she just magically shows up there? I don't know. Let's find out. Alright guys, so yeah, Freya is not at the base, so maybe we really do have to wait 2 or 3 in-game days. So if that's the case, then I guess we're finished with her for this episode. So why don't we, let's see, what do we want to do? There's lots of things that are on the to-do list. We haven't spoken to the staff in a while. Let's plop that down and see if it has anything new to say to us.
Oh, look at this place. I haven't seen such a mess since the fall of Fallujah.
Okay.
Oh, look at this place.
So, yeah, he's just saying the same stuff that he said last time. So, even though we already have talked or spoken to the archivist, we probably should go do that again. And if we're going to do that, we can get some stuff out of there from fragments of power. And I have quite a few of those that I've just been accumulating. 36 in total. And then I think there's also a journey step that has something to do with that too. Is it adventurer? Yeah. Acquire a rare piece of knowledge. What happens if we just switch this on? Will it give us credit for any of this? It doesn't give us credit for any of it. What we could do is go kill the go to the Barrow King. That's over here. Just to advance the story a little bit more. And also, you know, I kind of want to do the staff thing. I mean, I already know, you know, how it all works and stuff, but it'd be kind of fun to do the staff thing. And apparently he wants us to go talk to the archivist before his lines update. So I'm just trying to decide what the best order to do all of this in is going to be. Okay. The other thing we could do is if we go to Unnamed City to talk to the archivist, we could also hit Red Mother again and see if we can get her to drop the bow for us. So, yeah, why don't we do that? So we're going to take... Definitely want our battle dancer. Let's take Panzer with us. And let's take... That's just a level 3 Taskmaster that I found. I guess we'll just take Cathibria with us again. And we'll head over to Unnamed City. Whoops, sorry. Talk to the archivist again. But I'm just going to go through the, you know, the chat really fast because we've already done it, just to see if we can get the staff to update. So I'll meet you guys over at Unnamed City. All right, let's talk.
Look at this place. I haven't seen such a mess since the fall of Fallujah.
What?
And look, the archivist. Oh, sorry-looking shade that he is.
Okay, that's weird.
You could probably tell us something about the current.
All right, let's just go through this conversation again really quickly. I've already done this in a previous episode, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go through it fast. Okay, so let's spend some fragments of power. A memory of oils, and then that. What does that give us? Oh yeah, here. Spoken in a wavering ancient voice, this memory note contains the ramblings of an ancient giant king on the various oils developed and used by the slaves of the arena. Though the priest king gave him strict instructions never to reveal the nature of oils to others, the arena master took it upon himself to record the knowledge in case it might be of use to others of his kind in the future. Alright, so...
Tell me of the things you have seen.
So I think what I do now is I go here, right? Do I click on something here and we get like a new recipe? Okay. Do we get something? Alright, hold on. Everybody come over here. Now, I thought I was supposed to be able to click on this. So it does say press E to interact, but nothing's happening. Press E to interact. Oh, there we go. Why didn't that work in the first place? Jeez. Serpent Min statues. So I use it? Learned... Okay, okay, so there's the library. Decorative metal skull. Library of esoteric artifacts. It says I make that at the artisan's work table, though. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I'm also able to consume these, and they give me more feat points. But there's also supposed to be a recipe that allows you to make a scroll or a tablet, which gives you more points overall. Do I know that recipe? Or is that another scroll that I have to find? Yeah, nothing's coming up there. I'm assuming I'm protected from the sandstorm in here. Nope, that would be an incorrect assumption. Is it going to cause damage? Yep. Okay, let's get this on. Alright, well, I mean, I get these fragments all the time, so I think what I'd like to do is see if I can find the recipe for the tablet, and then, then I can use them to get more attribute and, knowledge points. So let's do this again. Okay, we got a new scroll. The Glasser. Alright, that's, what is this? I remember something about this. Let's eat it. Learned the Glasser. Oh, right. So these are kind of like, I think they're dual wield weapons that are basically broken alcohol bottles, right? And they do, I believe they do bleed. Alright, let's try it again. Venom infused two-handed sword. So a sword that allows us to, that just has poison on it. Venom infused two-handed sword. Two-handed sword infused with venom. Right, I don't know how good that actually is in terms of its other stats. Okay, let's try it again. Kinscourge statue? Alright. I think there's a total of 30 of these recipes. Colored candles. Venom-infused daggers. That might be worth looking into. Because the assumption there is that they're going to do both bleed and poison without me having to apply, poison, which only lasts for a few hits anyways. We might look into making those. And just, see how their stats are. Yeah, venom-infused daggers. Okay. Let's just keep doing this, and hopefully we get that tablet. Bindings of the Dead. Alright, that doesn't tell us anything. Use. I remember something about these too. There they are. I'm going to have to assume that these are stronger than, the leather ones anyway. Okay. Gravedigger. An improvised bar brawling weapon. I wonder if that's considered like a spear. Don't know. How many more do we have? We have 23 more. Okay, let's keep doing it. Venom infused sword. That's probably just the one-handed sword. Yeah, because we got the two-handed. That's the one-handed. Okay. a faux taxidermy? Faux taxidermist. So what does that do? Why is it faux? I don't know. Is that just what it's called? Apprentice taxidermist. Highlands taxidermist. Okay, so I guess this just allows us to do a lot more critters than just the two that are built in. Okay, fair enough. A battle spatula. Right. An improvised bar brawling weapon. Okay, don't know about that. Way markers. Oh. Those are cool. Okay. A table leg. I think the table leg is a club. Pretty sure it is. I remember that. Yep. In fact, I think it's a two-handed mace, if I remember correctly. A kiln. Right. Is that just a deco item, or can we actually use it? Well, it is. It's an actual furnace. Is it better than the tier 3 furnace that we're currently using? I don't know. Maybe it's just a reskin of the normal furnace. Practice swords. Alright, I think those are pretty self-explanatory. Fast elevators. Ooh, okay. We might make use of those later. Essence of rot. Alright, what the hell does that do? Maybe a corruption debuff kind of thing? This blend of unholy substances smell of rot and death. Crafted at a fireball cauldron. Alrighty then. Petrified egg. That's probably just a deco item. Yeah, a decorative egg. Okay. Throne of Skellis. That's probably a decorative chair. Yeah, kind of cool looking. A throne made of corrupted stone. Reinforced stool. Okay, we're getting down here. Tablet of power. That's what we wanted. Okay, nice. That's what we were looking for. Okay, so if we make this tablet of power, we get a total of 60 feat points that we can spend on attributes or knowledge. Whereas if we turn the equivalent okay, so we just make this in our own inventory. Okay, so let's craft that with 5 fragments. This will be nice because, you know, we don't have a level cap remover mod on the server. And, you know, so having to always switch back and forth. Or, you know, even like, for example, right now, it'd be nice to be able to max out vitality and maybe some more points in expertise just because, you know, we get encumbered really quick with this build. This is my combat build. And maybe even put some points into authority, you know, to make our trolls a little stronger too. takes a little while. Okay, so we spent 5 fragments of power to make 1 tablet. So right now we have 0 points. I think if we consume this, it'll give us 60 more. You have gained knowledge points. Oh, wait a minute. That's knowledge points. Oh. So it doesn't give us more attribute points. Just more knowledge points. I mean, that's not bad either because, you know, I can't learn everything. I would have preferred that it would have been attribute points though, but I see. Okay. Well, why don't we make another one of these for now? And like I said, I keep farming these all the time, so we'll be able to get more of those. And I guess I should, excuse me, look up and see what other recipes we can get and decide if I want them. And if I do, you know, then we need to keep going for certain recipes. I mean, you know, because we're an agility build, the venom-infused daggers was a nice find. How those will compare to, you know, like maxed out Heart's Blood, I don't know, but probably not going to be as good as Heart's Blood because Heart's Blood has gouge. But could be better, you know, than what we're using now. Be worth trying them. Let's just see what they do. Any hoozle. All right, let's put the staff down and see if he says something new to us now.
Ooh, the diadem of the giant kings. An artifact of singularly unimpressive power. My former master, known as the Priest King, used to wear it as a symbol of his authority. His head looked like a carrot with a silver belt wrapped around it. But it certainly provided him with all the qualities you'd expect of an elderly authority figure. Stuffiness, a great love of his own voice, and the inability to control his bowels. The last time I saw his face, I was tumbling down into the dregs. It was right before he went north to do battle with his half-breed son, Tyrus. I checked the northern battlefield. Someone has probably smelled him.
Okay, cool. All
Tired.
right, let's pick that up. So that is the staff now leading us, I mean, assuming we didn't know, we do, but in case we didn't, to the Barrow King. So we are going to head up there and do that after we farm Red Mother again for... I didn't tell my peeps to come with me. After we farm Red Mother again for another shot at hopefully the reach of the Red Mother. Plus, we can get some more of these power shard thingamadoodles there too. Let's take on Mother again. Okay, she's down. And we didn't get it. God damn it. The horned helmet. Okay, well, let's take that, and that. The horned helmet is... meh. I guess it's kind of cool looking, but... And then this is where we can get more fragments. And... I'll take the elixirs and the frost lotus. I don't think I really care too much about the rest of those. There's some treasure over here. So, I will meet you guys up by Mounds of the Dead. And we will go take on the Barrow King. So again, this is where we're going up here. And yeah, so I'll see you guys up there. Alright, so we are at the entrance to the Barrow King. And I just remembered in order to get in this place, I need demon blood. Which I could have gotten off the Red Mother. So what we're gonna do is go up into the frost biome after my followers wreck these ghosties, and see if we can find a one skull saber boss, mini boss, because I think we can get some demon blood off of them. So we're gonna take a little trip up into the snow. And I also noticed too that my journey step updated. That's kind of cool. The esoteric library recipes counted for that first step. Now, before we go in here, just out of curiosity, what is our... We've got pretty decent cold resistance, just as we are without any extra equipment, but if we get super cold, we can... Is that White Wolf a one skull like a demon wolf? I don't remember. Could be. What I was about to say is that we can put on our... Oh, you're messing with the memi off. No, that's just a big-ass wolf. Well, it's a dire wolf. Pretty sure this isn't going to have demon blood, but let's just check it. Nope. Oh, shit. He's angry. Alright, let's go up this way. I'm looking for, like I said, the one skull saber-tooths. Because they should give us demon blood. And I think we can find one of those over here. There's a few different places we can find him. Let's go over here first. Okay, so one can spawn right over here. I don't think that's the demon version, though. I think those are just the normals. Sometimes one can spawn up here, too. Yeah, these guys are all just the normals. I think the demon version is more gray instead of, tan, brown, light brown colors. So let's go over this way. And we'll go along here. We might need to go across the lake. This guy... He might have demon blood. Ow.
I don't want to hurt you, but I will.
No, he doesn't. Okay. I'm not keeping all of this stuff. Let's go down through here. I haven't actually been up here with you guys in this series yet. Been up here many, many times myself in the past. And one time I think I came up here off camera too. So there's ghosties in the lake, for those of you who didn't know that. Apparently there was a big battle here a long time ago. And I thought there was like a chest or something I could click on. Maybe not. Maybe that's just my imagination. Weird. Oh yeah, here it is. Elixir of Freedom, Breathing Potion, Yellow Lotus. Yeah, if you listen really closely, you can hear people screaming. I don't know if that'll come through in the video very well, though. Get over yourself, Memoth. It's also kind of a thumpity thump sound over here. Okay, here's something else. Alright, so far we're cold, but we're not bad cold. And this is black ice here too, by the way. Since we're here, let's grab a little bit of it. I have some, but we're primarily using this for building at this stage. Oh, no, wait. That's just normal ice. Well, you know what? Let's take a stack of that back, too. I always get them damn things mixed up. Because the, is that a normal saber? The normal ice is still kind of dark colored, so it can be easily mistaken for black ice. Or at least I easily mistake it for that. That's just a big wolf. Big dire wolf. Tough son of a bitch, man. Holy shit. Okay, let's go through these woods here. Pretty sure we'll come across the one skull bastard. Yeah, there he is right there. Okay, that's who we're looking for. There's our demon blood. Okay, let's get rid of some of this because it's just too heavy. Don't care about the feline pelt. Alright, let's head on back to the Barrow King. We will be coming back here in another episode. And working our way to the Frost Temple, which is that direction. But that's not what we're about in this episode. Alright, so the interesting thing about this dungeon is that it's actually more dangerous getting to the dungeon than it is doing the dungeon itself. Assuming they haven't changed anything. We're going to have to fight a shit ton of wights to get there, and they're going to keep spawning for a while. I mean, I'm not worried about it. We should be fine with our followers and stuff, but yeah, it's just interesting that that it's harder to get to the dungeon than to do the dungeon itself, you know? This would actually have been a good place for me to equip some white blades on my a couple of my thralls, but it's all right. It's not like we need them. Probably. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take those. The rest of this stuff is not super important. Okay. Let's do it.
Have you nothing better, pup?
Yeah, don't want any of that. And if we go over here, I think more will spawn too. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. Ooh, let's grab a direwolf trophy for our base. Don't really care about any of that stuff. We already have a big elk. Alright, I think that's it for the whites. Unless more spawn over here. And I didn't actually have to run over there. I could have bypassed it, but I wanted to kill them to see their loot, get their loot. Yeah, more of them spawn here. Okay. Don't care about any of that stuff. Don't care about any of that either. Over here?
Have you nothing better?
Okay. All right, let's do this. I don't. Yeah, we had enough. This isn't an instanced dungeon. So, even so, though, I still think I want you guys to stay here, because I'm going to solo the boss. But, again, unless they've changed something... yeah, stop follow. This fight's really not that hard. There he is right there. So that's the Priest King. And we have to kill him to get the diadem of the something or other.
Awoken by a mortal.
What I'll do is try and brighten this up a little bit in editing. I don't know if this guy's prone to bleeding or not. We should see if we can get some bleeds on him.
I have tasted death.
He's not, because he's an undead guy. Okay. Coming up. Is he stuck? That's funny. Oh, shit. Where'd he go?
Awoken.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, don't bug out on me. That's bullshit. He's bugged.
The abyss awaits.
Okay. Let's put our night vision mask on. And there he is. And we will take the diadem. I don't care about any of the rest of that stuff. He's probably just going to give us bones and rotten meat. Wait. Did we just get 2 diadems? We did. Okay. That's weird. You know, come to think of it, I also got 2 Witch Queen masks, too. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's intended, but... Alright. And I think that's it. I don't think there's... Oh, yeah, here's the thing we can click on. Vanquisher of the King Beneath. You have acquired new knowledge. And what does that do for us? So it gives us a polearm and some Kingslayer daggers. Those might be interesting to look at as well. And as far as I remember, I don't think there's anything over here, like, you know, resources or anything else special. Cannot climb this. So, interesting. And as you can see, a pretty damn easy fight. Not difficult at all. Alright. Let's have you guys follow us, but let's put the staff down and see what it says now.
Now the priest king had an inordinate fondness for blood sport. I mean, you'd think a creature that spent his days elbow deep in tentacles, eyeballs, and 7 limbs would tire of violence. In any case, he used to put his bastard half-son in battles in the arena. It was all a bit of a joke, you know. Tyrrus was a lot bigger than all the other humans, and so naturally, he excelled. But he was awarded the Star of the Champion by the Triumvirate. Yeah. And the War Maker, well, truth be told, he was a little put out about the success of the Priest King's son. So he put his pet dragon up against him. And just when you thought the bastard's luck had finally run out, he ripped off his own horn and jammed it into his brain by way of an eye socket. Absolutely noble beast, he said, and he pinned the Star of the Champion to the creature before giving up his gladiator career forever. Sickeningly noble boss. I mean, you had to please the crowds. I'll give him that.
Okay. I don't know why the volume on that is so low, but I'll try and boost that in editing. All right, you need demon blood to get out of here. But, you know, he dropped it, so I could have gone back and picked it up. Suppose if you dropped it and stayed in here long enough, you could maybe be in trouble getting out without some admin magic. Where the hell did you come from? Hello? He's dead. Okay, that was weird. All right, ladies and gents, that takes care of the Priest King and the Diadem of the Giant Kings. Another artifact that we need to eventually get out of here. Get out of the exiled lands. So the next story dungeon will be the Sinkhole. And we'll fight the undead dragon and get the Star of the Champion off of him. And I think that is all we're going to do for this episode. So hopefully Freya will show up at my base. And when she does, we will continue the storyline with her. And if that happens by the time I'm ready to start recording the next episode, that's what we'll do. If it doesn't happen, then we'll either go kill the undead dragon and get the Star of the Champion, or we will do our next building project. That's the tentative plan. So with that being said, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share out the video. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode. I'm going to do a little bit of farming here at Mounds and see if I can find myself a named blacksmith or carpenter. Bye.